Hey, good morning, it's your guy, Coach Mark, and this is First Light. Now, you may be stepping on that scale, you may be using your tape measure. You may be taking your progress photos, looking in the mirror, and you don't see change, right? Let's just say you saw a lot of change for a few months, and now you're not seeing any change, and you're wondering if this process is still working for you. I got news for you, homie. It is working, okay? If it's not working for you, it's working on you. And that's not my slogan. I took that from somebody, but it's 100% true. But the way that we measure that and the way that we keep ourselves going and build confidence throughout this process that can become a little boring, a little mundane at times, a little routine, is that we record daily wins, okay? Record daily wins. I'm a big believer that you have to constantly remind yourself of the progress that you've been making, because who else is going to remind you, okay? Now, a couple ways that we can do that. We track our daily steps, right? That's one of the ways we can do that. And a lot of you guys think that it's just merely something to get you walking, something to make sure you get movement in. And yes, it does help you with that. But when you track your steps, man, it gives you a goal, and it gives you some type of, it gives you a sense of satisfaction. Every time you meet that step goal, bro, you know you did something right today. So if you're not tracking your steps, you're holding yourself back, first off. But further than that, you're losing an opportunity to build confidence. And that's a daily dose of confidence, man, whenever you reach that goal, whenever you got halfway. A lot of times for you guys, you have a routine, you have a schedule. So you want to hit a certain amount of steps by a certain time of day. So if you're past that amount of steps at 12 o'clock or at 3 o'clock, you really feel good about yourself, and it gives you momentum throughout the end of the day, all right? So we track our steps. Also, guys, we track our calories. Now, again, most of you think that us coaches tell you to track your calories just to make sure that you don't overeat, right? Now, it is a great tool for that, and it's a great tool for you to record and be aware of your macros. But again, it gives you a sense of satisfaction. When you're sitting there on the couch on a Sunday and you're trying to plan out your next week or your meal planning, and you realize that you hit your calorie goal, you hit your macro goal all week, and you stayed away from the desserts, and you did a pretty good job with the iced coffees, and you know what I mean? And on top of that, I think a little bit further than just your macro goal and your calorie goal, you recorded, right? And that's a win in itself, because that's at some point for a lot of you, that was sometime this year, you weren't recording your nutrition. You weren't tracking your progress with your calories, or you weren't tracking your macros. So that in and of itself is an achievement. That's a win, right? Also, when we habit track, okay? And what is habit tracking? Habit tracking is we established a habit to stay off of our phones while we're in the grocery store. We established a new habit of making 2 positive phone calls every day. We tried to establish a habit of reading 10 pages in a book every single day. Whenever we record that progress, whenever we track that, again, it's another way to show ourselves that, man, I said I was going to do something and I did it. Man, I'm becoming more intelligent. It doesn't matter what the subject is. I read 10 pages in this book every day. I'm doing a lot better with screen time because I'm just making a few adjustments. I'm parking farther from the grocery store or from my job, and I told myself I was going to do it, and I've been doing it. I'm staying consistent. What you do is you start believing in yourself. You start believing that you can do things because you set out to do them, and you didn't let anything get in the way, okay? Now, when we start keeping promises to ourselves, when we start making promises to ourselves and keeping them, because we track and we know, okay, I did that 5 days this week. I abstained from that 4 days this week. It just shows ourselves that we're capable. And so we might not see that dip on the scale. We might not see the tape measure move, man, because sometimes it just doesn't, right? But when we record our daily habits, when we track simple things like steps, calories, right? Even our heart rate, Just we look back over a day and we see that we got our heart rate up 3-4 times today, okay? That's just another way to show that we are working at getting better. Because guys, let me tell you something. I know that many of you have a fat loss goal. You have a physique goal. But if you don't become a better person entirely, what was it all for? You don't just want to look better. You want to be better. And to be better, guys, we have to establish some habits. We have to look at some ways that we can become better, and we have to get busy with achieving those. So making sure that we track some habits, making sure that we write down, jot down, record. I don't care if you do it by voice. You can use a voice memo in your phone. We have to, sometimes it's okay to use that feature on our phone and just talk about what we did that day, what we accomplished. Whatever we have to do to record the fact that we did win today, that we did fulfill our promises to ourselves today, that we did perform the very, very small tasks to help us become a winner today is very important. And you'll see once you reach your physique or aesthetic or weight goal that achieving these small daily habits and wins are going to keep you going long term. This is your guy, Coach Mark. This is First Light.